Hello, Taurus. Today is October 31st, 2024. It is Halloween here. This is attempt number 2 at your reading. I am going to put the first attempt at the end of this reading because it's very cute how that all happened. And it was just an interruption of it was just cute. It was absolutely cute how that all worked out. And if you want the whole story on that and see the reading, I'll put that at the end of this one. So let's get in. I believe yesterday when we were doing the reading, there was just interruptions in the Taurus energy. And I am a Taurus, so yeah, I'm embracing the fact that there is a lot of interruptions in trying to get things done. The readings are timeless, so when you catch it, you catch it. And let's get in. We're going to do the butterfly spread. That's what I usually do. We have the cocoon phase, which is where you are now. We have the caterpillar phase, where we look at some of the challenges you've had that have brought you to this point, and we look at your strengths. And then we're going to go over to the butterfly phase, where we're going to look at options you have to move forward. And this spread is very much to empower you to make your own decisions, use your own intuition, and create and move forward in the direction that you choose and can work with spirit in, rather than predicting what's going to happen for you. You have choices. You have free will. Let's dive in, and we're going to get right into the tarot for where you are in this caterpillar phase. Okay. I really feel like this one here wants to come out. Don't spin around. You want to come out, and can we get one more card for Taurus, please? One more tarot card for Taurus. Let's go right here. Let's hear. Okay, there we go. We got your caterpillar section. And if you don't really feel like it resonates right away, don't worry. We go into a lot of different energies as we go through. And right now we have the Magician. You have everything you need to do anything you want. And I'm almost laughing at this because it's like, really? Because there's a ton of interruptions, even if I have everything. So let's see what else these cards have. And then we have the Knight of Swords, which has the quote, "Be ambitious, chase your every dream." And we're going to show you the Moon. "Taking time for deep self-reflection is essential." And I'm just going to put these out. I feel like, okay, the Magician wants to go... No, the Magician wants to go at the top of this spread here. And we'll get into understanding how we got to here, what led to this cocoon phase and what's in the cocoon right now. For the Knight of Swords, I'm really seeing... It's interesting because it's like, okay, here you are as the Magician. You've got all the tools. And what I'm looking at is like, but yet there's a lot of trying to learn. There's so many books in this Knight of Swords. It's really researching and gathering new information. And then we also have the Moon card, which means a look inside. It's taking note of what's internal. So I almost feel like this is... okay, you've got all the tools, but you want to analyze them, add in the missing pieces. It's a sense of wanting to know that you've got the information so you can make the best step forward. And you have the power to do it, but you're still gathering some of what you want to know and how to execute what you want to do. Let's take a look at some of the hindrances from in the past. I feel like this... okay, there's 2 cards here. We're going to take those 2, and we're going to take this one right here for the hindrances. Inclined to look at the bottom of the deck. Slowly but surely you're going places. I think that's a reflection on this. So you may not be rushing into anything right now, and that may be the appropriate thing to be doing. We're going to see... we do have the Eight of Swords. So there was, here it is, stop overthinking and just do it. There is a past energy where you felt like you had to really just keep doing the research and the research and the research, and you were getting nowhere. We also have toxic witches. I always mispronounce that to wishes. And it says, be cautious of those who take more than they give. And then the star, have faith that healing is in the forecast. So I feel like with this, I mean, I think there may have been an inability to open up to others for some of you, feeling like if you didn't fix this thing about you, you had to heal. Yeah, that's kind of the message I'm getting here was, you know, this Eight of Swords situation where you felt trapped and you were just not willing to do something. It was in the past, you've had a cycle somewhere where you kind of felt like, okay, until I fix this one piece, or if I don't have this piece of information, then I really can't go out there and take the steps and take the action. And a lot of this involved being around other people. Like there was like that sense of having like a flaw that you needed to fix and heal before you could be around others and enjoy your dreams and feel comfortable with other people. And as I look at that, I'm seeing that you may be kind of churning that over to make a repeat of it. Now, the wonderful thing about the butterfly spread is it's a very deep self-examination, which gives you options. So if you're kind of in a mindset or in a pattern that is not going to serve your highest good, it's something that will usually come out so you can analyze it, and then will be presented through the cards with other options that may be helpful and more useful to you. So let's go on. We're going to look at strengths for Taurus. And we're going to get 3 cards here. Strengths, things that helped you leading up to this situation. And I feel like this is the 3rd card we're supposed to take. All right, let's take a look at these. You have 6 of Cups. Give yourself the compassion you were never given. And the World, where it says, yay, you did it. Now do something to celebrate a job well done. And you have Queen of Cups. Honoring your emotions is one of the highest forms of self-care. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that, you know, you have the capacity to be able to give yourself, as it says in the card, the care and the compassion that you're not receiving from others. And you have an ability to embrace and see what is beautiful about you and see that you are still beautiful with whatever flaws you think you have. Everyone has flaws. No one's perfect, by the way. So if you're waiting for everything to be perfect, it ain't never going to happen. You're going to be waiting forever. And there's been times where you've been able to say, I am me, I am going to do this. And you have, you know, honored yourself. You've taken a balance and said, you know what? I can go out and do these things. And yes, I do need some time to myself to just do some self-care. But that doesn't mean it has to stop me completely from being out in the world and pursuing my dreams. So that's something you know how to do. You've done it before. It's a strength that you have. Now, in the past, you have also had feelings probably of going, well, I can't go out there until I've got it all right. You've gone out there before, whether it was recent past, distant past, you've done it before where, you know, it's like, you know what, that's fine. I can go out, I can do these things, and then I can take a little time for myself. So those are 2 things, you know, to look at in the past. Where have you been able to say, okay, I don't have all the information on something about myself, and I feel like this is all internal work that you're doing here. You have the Magician's strength, and this is like all kinds of internal stuff. Like, do I need to keep digging? You know, do I have to stay in isolation and do shadow work? Or can I go out, enjoy, manifest things that I want, and then take a little time here and there, appropriate amount of time, not all of my time, but appropriate amount of moments to sit and do that, this part of this cocoon. All right, so let's move on, and we're going to go to the butterfly phase. First, we're going to look at a mindset or a behavior or a pattern that may hinder your ability to move forward in the direction that you want. And the first card we have coming out here, we got 3 cards for Taurus here for things that may hinder them. One more card, please, for Taurus. Thank you. All right, so let's look at some of what has been a hindrance, or what could be a hindrance. All right, I'm going to try to hold these up so you can see them very clearly. First up, you have the Emperor. Being the authority of your own life comes with a lot of responsibility. You have the 8 of Cups. If your life feels stale, explore some new scenery. And Page of Pentacles here. When life gives you lemons, make enchanted lemonade. Now, what I'm looking at here is it's a delay process. I don't think it's the end of the world. For some of you, you kind of can sit there in this energy here where just biding your time, waiting to fix this, and feeling like, you know, you have so much responsibility and it's such a burden to take care of this thing. And then, you know, 8 of Cups, where it's sort of like, no, I'm not ready to go out there because I have all these other things inside that I need to figure out and they're not clear enough, so I can't go there. And there's a real long delay. And at the end of that, you're going to run into a spot where you eventually do have to realize, you know, you're going to have to take the lemons and make lemonade. So this is, it's not that you won't be able to get where you want to go, but there's a long delay in it. And that heavy feeling of overly feeling responsible for making sure everything about you is good, and this feeling of like, well, if I don't understand everything and I haven't got clarity on everything, what you need to do is just work with what you do know and move forward on that, and the learning will come. But this is saying, you know, whether you go about this in a slow, drag it out, be stuck in this, like, God, I keep looking inside and finding the things, it's just not going to be pleasant. But you'll still be able to get to a point where you realize, hey, time to work some magic here. Now we're going to look up here for a path that it would be more pleasant to travel and carry you in a more comfortable and probably expedient way of getting to where you want to go. I feel like this card right here does want to come out here, and that I just saw the next card here. And there we go. So we've got that. All right. You've got 2 major arcanas. Now you have, and this is the Cozy Witch Tarot. So we have, instead of the Fool, we have the Cozy Witch. Take a chance, for each morning is a new beginning. You have the Tower. Get ready, things are about to get shaken up. And I feel like this tower is not a negative. It's not our typical tower. It's, I hope you can't hear my stomach growling. It's almost lunchtime. It's really going out there and just tossing away. I feel like the Tower is just throwing away that feeling of not being enough. And then you have King of Wands, which is shine your inner light, your inner candle light, bright enough for others to follow. So there is a pathway to go, and it really comes to say, you know, every day is a new day. Go out there and do your best. And as you go along and do that, you'll see those flaws fade away. You'll see what you think you don't know. You'll learn. It'll come to you as you go. And you don't have to wait for all of the answers. And you will be shining your inner light, and your higher self will be very clear in this path, because you're not hiding behind what you think is a flaw. You're leading with what you know is good and true and beautiful about you. And I just feel like if you look at this image, it's like, you know what? Are you going to look in the mirror and see somebody flawed? Or are you going to look in the mirror and say, I am beautiful just the way I am. Nobody has all the answers. Nobody is perfect. So you know what? I'm heading out there, and as I go along, I am going to learn. I am going to grow, and that's the way life goes. And in that process, you probably will be a role model to someone or a variety of people, and people are going to start to see you in a new light, in that positive light that you may not be able to even see yourself at this moment until you go out there and embrace it and do it. All right, so that's the cards for there. I am going to pull, where are we going right now? Okay, I'm going to use the tea leaves here. If any of you need like some little confirmations, these will not resonate with everyone. It's a lot like if you see some people do readings, they pull charms. I pull the tea leaves. That's kind of my thing to do. So success. You are totally, absolutely capable of being successful right now in this moment. Now, how you perceive things and whether or not you want to delay that. And we are getting a slight little interruption here. Come on up. Oh, there you go, Julia. You want to come up? You can come up. Don't sit there and whimper at me. I know you can get up there on your own. We have a doggy whining in the background. Okay, I'm going to pause this a moment because as with the Taurus energy of interruptions, here we go. I got to pause this. Get her up here. All right, hold on, puppy. Okay, brief interruption there. But when I was doing that, I was also hearing, you know, life has enough interruptions. You don't need to be interrupting yourself too. You don't need to be creating your own interruptions by going over and over and over and roundabout about what's, you know, internally that you still need to do. You don't need to create your own interruptions. So we have empty chair, someone is leaving your life, and I feel like that's almost an old self or a perspective of who you are is leaving. You know, like you're going to see yourself in a new way. Let's see what else we have. We have the flute, disappointment in a friend or a lover. That may be just something. I feel like a lot of you are afraid of disappointment. We're Taurus. Of course, we're always afraid of being, you know, disappointing those we love the most. That's a huge Taurus concern. I don't know. Like, I'm a Taurus. Totally get that one. All right. One more from here. And then we have chair filled. Someone new is entering your life. And I feel like this is your new perspective of you. Now, for some of you, you may have someone who is leaving because they're not in alignment with where you are in life now, and you will have that replaced with someone who is in alignment. We'll grab a couple of these too. I am getting my elbow licked like crazy from my dog right now. Hello? Can I, you know? All right, so lots of love and kisses coming for some of you. All right, bridge, successfully overcoming a problem. That's for some of you. We have the claw. Be careful, do not take risks. And I'm seeing this in two ways. One, some of you are afraid that like just being yourself could be a risk. And that's not necessarily true. But this is, you know, when you say, okay, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do it. And, you know, you don't want to, okay, Julia, you're licking my arm and it's making my hand move. So can you stop? Can you stop that and let me finish the reading? Nope. Nope. She's going to keep licking my arm. All right. For some of you, it is. We're not talking throwing caution to the wind here and letting anything happen. And I should probably just hold this in a different hand because the dog's going to be shaking that hand. This does not mean throwing caution to the wind and being reckless when it says take risks. But sometimes we do have to risk being vulnerable. And appropriate situations, we are able to be a bit more vulnerable. And that doesn't mean complete vulnerability. That doesn't mean putting yourself at risk. But it means putting yourself out there authentically. And sometimes it's scary. Okay. All right. Getting Do you want to just okay, you're gonna behave? Okay. And one more. Let's see. We have the key, which is successful outcome to your problems. All right? And you are the key to the success of this, by the way. You know, how things play out, and if they're successful, you're the key. All right? You're the magician here. Do we need one more? I pulled one more, feeling like I didn't need to, but for someone, this is just going to be one or two. This may just be one of you. We have wreath, sorrow over a loss. And what I'm hearing with this is, just don't grieve any kind of negative thing that you think about yourself that you've done in the past. You do have to leave some of the pieces behind that weren't serving you. And I guess, if you want to grieve and say goodbye and do something ceremonial to let that part of your old self go, feel free to do that. That's perfectly okay. Let's grab a couple oracle cards to finish this out. And I will put that first attempt at the reading on here. I feel like we're going to go in here. Okay, so is there any closing messages to help Taurus follow their highest good? We do have lost compass, getting back to integrity. And I don't feel like you've lost your integrity, but I feel like this is more of a strength inside of yourself to say, I know my path. And I know it's going to be windy, and I know I might misstep a few times, and I know some people might not like the direction I'm going, but I am who I am, and I'm going to go in my direction. I don't have to just sit here and think I've got to wait until I'm perfect. Okay, so that's one message there. Are there any messages for Taurus to help them choose how they want to move forward with things in their life right now? Any further messages? I feel like, okay, we've got two of them that want to come out. These two here. All right. All right, so we have in reverse, a very difficult one to see, fallen angel, spiritual narcolepsy. And I think this is a reminder of, you know what, your spirit is very much alive, and it's very much strong. And believe it or not, our spirit can override a lot of our flaws when we are listening to it and we were living in our spirit and embodying our spirit. So that's just to remind some of you that, you know what, you can come out of judging yourself so much by the 3D that you forget how great you are as a spirit, as a soul, as a energetic being in a body. We can be, Taurus is very earthy, so sometimes it is easy to get caught up in earth judgments rather than spiritual judgments of ourselves. And the last one is, how fitting is this one? Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. All right, do you need a stronger message there from Spirit? Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. All right, so that's what I have for you today. If you want to stick around, I think it was just the funniest thing that happened, and I'll tell you the story now. I will put the first attempt at your reading for today at the end of this, but I will preface it with, so today is Halloween, and I was sitting down to do your reading, and I'm like, I had 2 decks out, and I'm like, I feel like there's 2 different readings that we have to do, and I was getting into the reading, and like the 8 of Cups, the 8 of Pentacles came upside down, and I was like, as my spirit guides, is like, is this reading not going to work? What's going on? I don't understand. And then I was like, wait, there's like this like thing, I feel like this energy coming in that was like gonna stop the reading. And I was trying to do the reading, and I'm thinking this is like your reading that's going on, because of course I'm not thinking anyone's going to come to my door, right? Because I live in a 55 over community, which we have in the United States, and there's no children here, so nobody goes trick-or-treating. And then all of a sudden, while I'm trying to get through your reading, and I'm like, I don't understand this. Why are you telling me the reading isn't going to work? What's going on? There needs to be 2 readings. The doorbell rings, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Why is somebody at the door? No one's scheduled to do any repairs today. No one's scheduled to come over. And I go to the door, and it's a woman from around the corner that I have never met, one of my neighbors that I've never met, in her late 70s, dressed up for Halloween with a little Easter basket, and she's going door to door just to say hello to the neighbors on Halloween. And it was absolutely adorable. And it's so funny to like look at the reading that I had tried to start doing for you. And then the doorbell rings in it. So if you want to stick around for that, sometimes it's just so much fun to look at how the cards and the energy try to communicate. And as a reader, when I'm trying to work on a reading for, the collective, I can kind of like not realize that the cards are trying to tell me what the hell's about to happen right now in my house with me. So it's there if you want to take a look at it. I will stick it into this video so you can watch it. And I mean, just enjoy how Spirit has a way of communicating things, and how sometimes as a reader we can be like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. And then like what it's explaining just shows up in your face. Okay, so that's all I have for you today, Taurus. I do the readings daily. If this resonates with you, give it a like. It's very anonymous, so nobody knows who likes what on YouTube, but it does let me know that this is a message that's being received. I'm working with an energy that is serving people's highest good and is helping them. And that is really my goal, is to help you to be able to make your choices and feel empowered so that you can live your best life. All right, I will talk to you I may not have a video tomorrow because I do have repair work coming to the house. So if I do not have time to do these, we may not have a reading tomorrow. But other than that, enjoy the first attempt at the reading, and please do find the comedy and the beauty of Spirit working in it. Thanks. I'll talk to you again. Hey, Taurus. For today's reading, it is October 31st, Halloween, Samhain. And yeah, we typically do the daily butterfly spread for you. There's something really funky in your energy, Taurus. And like, I have 2 decks over here that want to talk. One is very grounded, very peaceful. One just really feels like it has a lot of heavy, dense energy that's, I don't want to say necessarily negative, but it's just a weight. And I'm feeling like, almost like maybe there's 2 different readings Taurus needs. I don't really understand why there's this split. And there's even 2 different oracle decks that I have for you. And this may be, some of you are feeling split between 2 ways. We're going to get into this. We're still going to aim for doing the butterfly. And I feel like I've got this deck in my hand right now. So I'm going to, this card just slid over here. What is this? What just slid over here? The 8 of Coins in reverse. Something isn't working. And like, I'm actually checking with my guides. I'm like, okay, are my guides trying to tell me this reading isn't working? But I feel like there's an interference that's trying to stop something from working out for you. And I think we're gonna just take that as a center card. Okay, I have this deck in my hand. The bottom of the deck right now has message of concern. Don't get scared or anything. I do not lack I do not allow like warnings and scary shit in my readings. Okay. All right. These readings are intended to help you look at your life, look at yourself, and make choices. They're geared towards empowering you, which is really interesting because there's like this, I can feel this energy coming in that's trying to say like, I'm more powerful than you. And I'm like, wait a second. No, you're not. No, you're not. What are you doing here? Okay. All right. If nothing resonates yet, don't worry about it. It may not be your reading, but there's a lot of stuff that comes out as we go deeper into the energy. So stick around. We will be looking at what's going on now. Just a minute. Just a minute.